vikingos, ¿cómo están? Mi nombre es Pame y en el video de hoy vamos a conocer el jardín escolar más grande de Noruega.
Buenos dias, hola. My name is Paule Miller. I work for a company called HagebrukSpesialisten in Ålesund. I'm a gardener. And today we're at Ålesund International School, and we are currently going to be building Norway's biggest garden, school garden, and it's going to be for inspiring children to grow and to produce the next generation of gardeners.
And what inspired you to do this?
First of all, I'm English, so that's a good start. I'm a member of the RHS, which is the Royal Horticultural Society in England. It's 215 years old. And it's a very prestigious thing in England. Gardening is quite a big thing for us in England. And I thought I'm going to bring that inspiration from England to Norway and see if we can make a difference.
And how did you decide to reach to this school?
It was back in 2017, and when I follow the RHS, and I'm a member, I get lots of information online. I'm always continuously going back to England, going back to the flower shows, and I'm surrounded by this information of school gardening and how it helps the communities and it helps the country. So I thought, that's quite a good idea. I don't think we have that here in Ålesund or even Norway, so I thought I'm going to just, as an idea, just go out there, be brave, and find someone that kind of believes in what you believe in, and hopefully we can work together. And luckily it worked out really, really well.
So you have been working on this project for 2 years, right?
It's been about a 2-year project so far, due to maybe trying to get some funding for it. It's personally the funding, I couldn't really come up with the full funding for the project myself. So, but luckily with the help of Stian from Ålesund International School, we got together and found out inside the commune or inside the council there is a department which gives out grants to small projects. So luckily went for an interview and presented the project, and luckily they said yes and they gave us some funding, so that's what helped us start.
Could you please tell me the benefits of all of this to the kids?
It's good for their physical and mental well-being. It's a lot to do with the health and bringing awareness to stress and issues. It can actually break down barriers for bullying. It has lots of benefits with their subjects, geography, sciences, and it's a way to connect back to gardening, really.
And what kind of plants are you going to plant today?
The project actually is open to every single type of horticultural practice there is. So because we're lucky enough to have the largest area to actually grow in, we're going to be doing everything. So it's all fruits, it's all vegetables, it's going to be lots and lots of plants, and introducing trees and all the techniques that come into growing. And luckily with the international school there's 115 students and I think 26 nationalities. So there's a lot of culture here to be able to introduce their cultures, and maybe, I know the climate in Norway is bad, but we could, with a little bit of help and focus, we could maybe grow some vegetables from other people's countries.
And talking about vegetables from other countries, is it very difficult to find those seeds in Norway, or how do you do it?
Usually it is, but if thanks to the Asian shops which are in Norway at the moment, we can just clone the vegetables that we're buying in the shops today. So we can buy a fruit that doesn't naturally grow in Norway, we can open it up, extract the seeds, germinate the seeds, and we can then use the seeds to grow those vegetables here which are not growing naturally in Norway. So this is the garden that we're going to be building today, or most of it, but it kind of incorporates the fruits, the vegetables, and protecting the vegetables in this climate. So it's a rough idea, but this is basically what we're going to be trying to achieve today, and introducing lots of things of wildlife for bugs and insects. Because without bugs and insects, then there's no point of doing any gardening, because we need them to survive. So we're going to be introducing everything we can for a good diversity of the garden.
That's very nice, yeah. And could you please tell me a little bit more about the preparations that you did? Because I saw that you were coming here before and you were cleaning before. What kind of things were you doing?
We had to find a lot of free materials. So from my main job, I actually managed to get quite a lot of the building materials from my main job. So over the last couple of months, we've been trying to install one of the fundamental structures to the garden, which is the tyre wall. So there's 250 tyres that are going to be going down onto the garden to give protection from the kids in the playground with the footballs.
Oh yeah.
So it's protecting the garden, but at the same time it's protecting the fruit and the vegetables inside the garden from the wind, because the wind is really strong in Ålesund. So we need that protection for the plants inside the garden. So that was one of the biggest projects that's been going on probably for about 6 months.
Y miren, vikingos, aquí tenemos algunas de las cosas que se van a utilizar, que son bastante bonitas y están chiquitas para los niños. Estos que tenemos aquí son para que te puedas agachar, que puedas poner tus rodillas sin lastimarte. Y luego tiene también, miren qué bonitas son y qué chiquitas son. Están muy preparados y tienen cosas muy, muy padres. Y en este momento estamos adentro de la escuela. De hecho, tienen preparado aquí un pequeño desayuno. Y también pusieron varias cosas con instrucciones, con información, para que la gente que vaya llegando vaya leyendo un poquito al respecto. ¿Qué les parece? Me parece una idea fantástica para poder incluir a todos los niños y que aprendan cosas nuevas. Y acá está Runar, con Pipi.
So you've got, do you eat paprika?
Paprika, ok.
Yeah, so this is paprika.
Des poivrons, paprika.
Ah oui.
Tu t'es réveillé ce matin ou pas?
So the best way so any fruit or vegetable from the shops you can open up and you just take the seeds out, and then all you need to do is with a bit of kitchen towel, you just open up the kitchen towel. You put water on the kitchen towel, and you put the seeds on top, and you close it. You stick them in a bag, and you tie a knot in it, and then as long as you put it somewhere warm and no light, then hopefully in about 2 weeks they will actually germinate.
But these are not paprika seeds.
No, these are not paprika seeds. The same kind of idea.
Okay.
All seeds are different. These ones take a lot longer because they're big. They need to take in lots of water.
Okay.
But the bigger the seed, the longer it takes to kind of to soak in the water and to grow. But this is the fun way because you get to see the seed and germinating. So that's the root. So that root is going to take, and then the leaves are going to come out of the seed. And those leaves are going to give them the energy to the plant to grow.
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Stian Öland and I'm the General Manager at Ålesund International School, and we have the pleasure of cooperating with Paule Miller de HagebrukSpesialisten in developing the first RHS School Garden in Norway.
Why do you think it's important to have a project like this in the school?
I think it's very important for kids to learn how to grow, how ecosystems work, to increase environmental consciousness, and to understand where food comes from, and to work with their hands, to work outside with stuff. So we see a whole lot of good benefits for the school and the children to work with this project.
And why do you think it's important for kids to learn about where the food is coming from?
That's a good question, but I think many, not just kids, but many people today are slightly disconnected from where food comes from. Also meat and other things. You buy things vacuum packed in the supermarkets without giving too much thought to where it comes from and how it came about. And most of the food we eat is also mass produced, I suppose, and through intensive farming and these things. So for children to understand that it all comes from the same basic principle. It's like a seed and nutrients and light and water and all of these things, and you need to take care of it for it to grow. And I think that's a lot of interesting and good learning in that.
Is there anything that you would like to add?
To add, no, I hope anyone who's interested would like to come and see our garden once it's developed a bit further, and of course it's still early in the season as well, I suppose, so it's still very early spring, but when it comes to say May or June, hopefully it's going to be a green and colorful place. So.
Perfecto, gracias.
Gracias.
Lo que van a hacer en este momento es aprender un poco sobre cómo poner las plantas. El clima de hoy ha estado bastante frío, con lluvia y granizo, entonces el proyecto no se puede hacer afuera, que de hecho no sé si alcancen a ver, que allá es donde están las llantas y allá es donde se va a hacer el jardín y aquí es donde se tenía todo listo. Pero como varios niños sí vinieron, a pesar del clima, se va a poder hacer todo esto adentro de la escuela. Lo que están haciendo en este momento es sacar la tierrita del costal para que cada niño pueda participar. Lo que me gusta es que a todos les dieron unos guantes de su talla, unas palitas de su tamaño también.
But every seed has got, every type of seed has its different kind of temperature that it will germinate. So not everything will germinate at low temperatures, but as the temperature goes up in your house, then they will decide that today's the day, and then they will and start growing. So we keep them inside and we look after them.
Afuera de la escuela con Paule porque nos va a llevar al lugar donde va a estar el jardín, ¿verdad?
So this is the garden. Welcome. So we have, I believe we have available 250 square meters of garden that we can actually use. It's very, very lucky to have this amount of area to actually use. We're going to make use of the entire area and try and plant and do as much as we can within this plot. So if you kind of follow me?
Yes.
So we've got the tyres, which is fundamental to the project. That's going to give protection to the garden inside the tyres, and it's 100 square metres inside. So that's going to be a nice area to relax. We can put up some benches. We're going to be painting the rock in the middle to be a giant ladybird.
Oh, that's nice.
So we're going to use the rock because we can't move the rock. But we're going to cultivate the inside of this area. We're going to have fruit all the way down the end against the fence. So we're going to make as much fruit production as possible. We're quite lucky with the way that the garden is because it's facing south and there's nothing to stop it. So we have sun all day. So the idea is to trap the sun and the heat inside of the tyres. The tyres will absorb the heat and keep the garden warm and hopefully raise the temperature inside the garden so we can start growing a lot more fruit and vegetables in a higher climate. So on top of the tyres, as you can see on top, is we're going to be planting seeds in the top of the tyres for the bugs and the insects. So we're going to be planting lots of plants to make use of the space and to get as much bees and insects to actually visit the garden to pollinate all the vegetables and plants. Also, we're going to be using the balcony, which is up there on top of.
Oh, that's great.
On top of the school, and that's going to be where the greenhouses are going to be. We're going to put some like fake grass down to give that kind of instant colour. They can take their shoes off and have fun, and they can grow all the vegetables up in the greenhouses. And when they're ready, they bring them down and plant them directly into the garden. So it's a way of connecting early cultivation of plants when it's not able to do it because of the season starts very late. So we're doing a lot of focus on real kind of vegetable production. Then we're going to bring it out and it'll be instantly ready to be planted out and to cultivate it further up into, taking it back into the school and actually eating it. And everything that's going to come from the kitchen is going to come out into here to be recycled. So we're going to have a huge composting bin or area over here. That's going to be recycling everything from the school, and the recycled material is going to go back onto the garden to nourish the plants further on.
¿Qué les parece, chicos? Creo que es una idea fantástica y creo que sería bastante bueno hacerlo en todas las escuelas primarias, ¿verdad?
Down in this corner here, we're actually going to be making this the bugs and the insect corner. So this is the garden as such. This is going to be where all the flowers are. We're going to bring all the insects into the area to pollinate everything. It can actually be their home, a place where they can find their food. So we're going to cultivate this entire area and make all the bee hotels, focus on all the insects hotels, and put as many plants here from other people's houses, donations, and try and build up over time as much as we can get into it. There's more flowers we can get in, the more kind of insects we attract, and the more we do better for the insects.